Holy cow, did you see this incident yesterday at the Mezzalama ski mountaineering event in the Swiss Alps right near the border with Italy? Let's check it out. This incident occurred yesterday, the 26th of April, near the top of this glacier near Mount Rosa at the 13,000 foot elevation right in this bowl located right here. The aircraft involved in this incident is a 1970 Piper PA-18 Super Cub, presumably powered by the 150 horse Lycoming engine, on skis with registration HB-OKB. HB is registration in Switzerland. And looking at this picture from the freeze frame of the video, it looks like there were two people on board this aircraft operating at 13,000 feet. This video popped up on my Facebook feed this morning. It was posted by Luca Calzone, who's apparently an experienced mountaineer. He was on this trail that we're seeing right here, and behind this trail you see a set of tracks where apparently a Piper Super Cub has been practicing some glacier flying. Now check this out.
Parte subito, ma ci passa sulla testa. Rubbi sei pericoloso. Zumbi sei pericoloso. Zumbi che criminale. Cioè, va bene tutto, ma lì ammazzava qualcuno se lo prendeva. Ma hai visto?
Right through the middle of the crowd of people along the hike. So Jenny here is going to translate for us a bit of the... Wait. So Jenny, help us out. What was the guy saying on the video?
Obviously, he's filming the airplane as it arrives, and then they see it turn around. And as it's descending the slope, he says, wait, it's going to go right over our heads. Oh my God, this is so dangerous, but this is so dangerous. This is criminal. And then after that, he says something about, man, that he could have killed some people. Basically, something like that.
So that's the Italian translation from
what he says.
My Jenny.
Yeah.
Now, before I break this video down, I want to give special thanks to Carol Zerby, our local DPE and experienced glacier pilot who flies on skis in glaciers and has given us enough information about glacier flying where I can make a reasonable attempt to try to discuss the following video. You can learn more about Carol and the services she provides here on her northboundflying.com webpage, and she's also started a YouTube channel. If you're learning to get your license and trying to get through a check ride, she discusses many of the things that she's encountering with students in an effort to pass their check ride. Okay, here's the trail where the mountaineers are walking on, and fortunately they're not using a rope in between the mountaineers, as you often see in the steeper portions of the terrain, and they're at this elevation of 13,000 feet or more than 4,000 meters. And here's the set of tracks that the aircraft has been using. So apparently this is a fairly popular area for glacier flying, but glacier flying and tourism just simply don't mix. Now, I don't know if this was a mix-up in communications, that these pilots did not know that this very popular event was going on this day. And once the pilots came into the area, didn't they notice all of the people there in the glacier? Or were the pilots already so committed at this altitude? The performance, you're at near the service ceiling of a 150 horse Super Cub on skis at this altitude. So as is typical in ski operations, what you want to do is pack down your runway first. So he's trying to put this ski on the runway and pack in a bit of a runway. Then if you're not going to stop, you need to keep your momentum up and spin the aircraft around and turn around and take off. If you stop the aircraft and the runway's not packed down, you run a very good chance of getting the aircraft stuck in that snow. But now you're just going to take the fall line. Gravity is going to force you to come right down through here, and that just looks wide enough. From this angle, it's hard to tell how wide that gap is, but to me, that looks like one wingspan worth of distance between those mountaineers. And it looks like the folks are on their skis, so they're not able to get out of the way very fast. And again, thank goodness they don't have a rope in between them. And it's going to take a lot of this downhill run before the Super Cub has enough speed to resume flying speed. Remember, your ground speeds are going to be very high at these high density altitudes. And he's going to continue on downhill. And here's the real damning evidence where this pilot's going to be in a heap of trouble: ADS-B data that puts the aircraft in that location at this time. And here's the ADS-B data, 9:52 local time on 26 April, and this ADS-B data starts off right at the location of the event. Here's the top of the glacier where the event was filmed, and here's the ADS-B starting at 13,700 feet, launching off of that glacier. As far as who owns the airplane or where the aircraft is from, it looks like it's from this flying club in Geneva, HB-OKB. There it is. So was this aircraft being rented at the time, or was this with an instructor? Were they actually doing glacier flying instruction at the time? This pilot's going to have a lot of questions to answer. And if we look at a map of the course, now this map shows the course not going over the direction where this incident occurred. So is this an accurate map of the actual mountaineering event, or is this another tour? I'm not sure. Were the pilots even aware that this event was going on? Nevertheless, this is a very popular location for people to be traversing, especially on a good weather day like this. And another thing I have a question about the pilots is, once they turned the corner and came in here, were they committed to land and turn around on the ground? In other words, since that elevation is so high up there, I don't think they would have had the ability to do a flying turn around inside of this bowl. Were they committed to doing the landing and turn around? Regardless, you got to do a high recon. There's the elevation in meters, 4,100 meters. You got to do a high recon before you commit to one of these sort of off-field operations, whether you're on a glacier or on a riverbed or a mountaintop. So just a very close call yesterday with this Piper Super Cub and the ski mountaineers here in the Swiss Alps. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. With events going on like this, we'll definitely be seeing you here.
Parte subito, ma ci passa sulla testa. Rubbi sei pericoloso. Zumbi sei pericoloso. Zumbi che criminale. Sì, va bene tutto, ma lì ammazzava qualcuno se lo prendeva,